if I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. If you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce, only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me, because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So if you're a guy, right, in this society, in this Me Too environment, in this litigation-rich environment of misogyny and sexism and all of these claims, what is the value add? What's the risk? You know, the benefit and the risk. I can't do the analysis and say, I'd just be like, no, I'm just not hiring one. Give me all the men.
So Candace has got some good points, man. A lot of you guys have gone through things. A lot of you guys may have not. A lot of you guys may be hesitant, especially with the climate that we're in now. But I have my own take on this, and before we get into it, listen, it's your favorite everything GR Wisdom. Hit that like and subscribe button along with the bell. That way you receive all the notifications for all of my future videos that have content like this. Let's run it up to 100,000. Quit playing with me. So this is, as a man, as a professional man, as a business owner, even in the military, you know, which this happens frequently as well. It's a nightmare. But I understand why things are, because there were a lot of women being taken advantage of, even from quid pro quo, which means, for those of you who don't know, this for that. Just making all types of comments because, you know, and this is why some women call men pigs. You know what I mean? You can't focus on your job because you see a pair of tits and ass. And you just want to just lose it. And I've heard dudes say things and they just talking. And that's why, you know, I'm coming from a military background as well. That's why we kind of prefer to be in an all-male unit. That way you don't run into issues like that. I'm not saying not every man can control themselves. I'm not making any excuses for men. Just like women say it shouldn't matter what I wear. And, you know, Dave Chappelle's done the whole skit about that on Killing Them Softly, I believe, where he says, if I dress like a police officer, same way if you're dressing like a slut in the street, you should expect certain things. Hey, it's just some men that can't, not that say that they can't control themselves, but you know what I mean by saying that. They just don't have that grasp on that. They don't have any couth about them. They're just pigs. And they've done this, and you know, with the advent of women actually working in the same environment as men, you know, because traditionally throughout the world, obviously, I'm not saying women have been in a subservient role, but there are women who've had businesses, you know, cooking, restaurants, cleaning, different services that they've offered. And I know that there were certain things that happened with that as well, you know, with offering these services. But, you know, with civil rights, affirmative action, all of these different things that women have supposedly been subjugated over the years or over the centuries or millennium, it's something that happens that they are combating. But some women, with this whole M2 movement, they take advantage of it. And like I said, it's like a lot of guys don't want to open themselves up for potential litigation. If you say something wrong, you can't speak how you normally would speak. If it was males there, you are almost afraid to write a woman up or say things because she can come back and say, well, you tried to do this. Hence, what was it, Office Space? When Buddy said, Buddy was like, you know, I'll say that you tried to do this, when his boss wouldn't write him up or fire him. And he was like, I'll say you tried. I think it was Office Space where he did that. And it was also that, was it American, I can't think of the name. With Kevin Spacey, y'all know the name. Y'all know the movie I'm talking about. American Beauty, I think that's the name of it. Where he basically said the same thing. And you can't disprove it at the end of the day. And with women, especially if their feelings are hurt, they'll go all out and go with a lie. I'm not saying that all women are liars, but women have the ability to say these things and there's no repercussions, including the R word. They can say that the R word has happened to them and it could be completely true. There's been guys that's been exonerated over the years. And coming from a, you know, some places women are never believed. You know, I think in Islam, she has to have 4 witnesses if she makes an accusation or something like that. Because of that reason, traditionally, women have no problem a lot of times destroying a man's life, and they're going about their business. There's a lot of guys who have been accused of the R word, and they lost their careers. And like Candace said, there's a stain on your record. There's a certain, you know, you're looked at as a certain way, or you know, with Mike Tyson's and all this, you have to walk around with this, even though you were convicted of it, but doesn't mean you really did it, you know. So in the workplace, I could see why many men would opt to hire men as opposed to women, because I'm not saying, it's a lot of things depending on the job. Men are, you know, more comfortable with talking to men and telling them, hey, do this. And you guys have been around managers that will take it easy on women, or won't have women doing physical labor like all the other people, like you're required to, like some jobs require, must lift a minimum of 30 pounds, 50 pounds, 80 pounds, 70 pounds, must be able to lift this amount over your head. You know, things like that, that some women may not be able to do. We can see that when you're on an airplane, and when women are taking their luggage off of trying to take it off the overhead bin, and they can't hold it up, and it just drops, and they don't care. They'll drop it on you. You know what I mean? Just as an example. But there are women who are fighting for, you know, these equal rights and things like that. But when it comes to these, and I know this is completely different, but when it comes to these labor jobs, who's feeling them? Men are, for the most part, you know. And that's really the preference. And a lot of women know they really don't want to work those kind of jobs. So a lot of this with this, and I think it works twofold. I'm not saying that women shouldn't work. There are certain places where she's gonna get, you know, more harassment than usual. And I don't believe in harassment, but some of you guys that are watching are probably like, well, JR, you know, harassment is predicated on how the guy looks, if she's attracted to you or not. Man, listen, when I was when I was in those fields working alongside women, I didn't say anything to women. When I say that, what I mean by that is, it was just strictly business. Hey, if I need this, that, I wouldn't be sitting back being chummy, you know, trying to chat her up or anything like that. I would do what I do and go on about my business, because I don't have time for any of that. I don't ever want to put myself in a position where that can even be said, even though as a woman, you can really say anything. A woman could literally call the police right now, and she not even know you, and said that you did something to her, and they will come and arrest you. Forget due process and all that. Like, literally, just think about that, guys. A woman can get on the phone. She could walk past you on the street, call the police, and said that you did something to her, and they'll come and lock you up. That's how this world is now, and including any worker. Because like I said, with most men, you can just basically, I don't want to say chastise, but you can correct them. You can write them up. You can fire them and not really worry about that. But with some women, they have that trump card that they are able to use. And nobody's really believing men anymore these days. And it's unfortunate that the environment is that way. So Candace, some of them, you could probably say she's pandering, she's a pick-me, so on and so forth. But she's right. But let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a session with yours truly if you're looking for some advice. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. All the links are below. Purchase all my books, merch, all those things that helps to support the channel. And with that being said, much blessings and abundance. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Listen, this is wisdom. Stick around for the next video that's about to come up, and that's where I'll see you. I'm out of here. Peace.
It's God's the beat maker.
And I don't know. I have put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth.